Hello everyone, welcome to Meal Studies. In this video, I'm going to share a very important information regarding copy commands in SQL. Since these copy commands we will be using more frequently in our real world projects, where we will be given a single table and we need to convert the same table into different tables. That you can see here, I'm just considering a sample data, having a sales information like sales one table, and this is the only table I have now. And I'm going to convert this same table into different tables that you can see here: customers, sales, items, orders from this table. So there could be many situations or many requirements are there, and as per the requirements we need to convert those many tables. Okay, now we will do it in SSMS. Now you can see here I'm using mean life studies 1 database. Okay, and this is the table I have already created and this is the data I already inserted. These commands I will mention in the description box, you can find from there. Now if I execute this query, you can see here this is the data in sales 1 table. Now if you look at this database mean life studies 1 tables, you can see what are the tables are existing in mean life studies 1: employees, sales 1, transaction table. These are the 3 tables are existing, right? Currently we are using this table, that is sales 1 table, having different columns like sale id, order id, item category, quantity ordered, customer id, customer location, customer mail id, and then sales amount. Right, now we need to convert this table into different tables. Okay, there could be many different use cases are there. Okay, then how we can convert, I mean how we can store the same data into our same, or we can see different requirements. For example, here we have different locations are there, right? So with respect to each location we can store this data in different tables. Okay, so that's why we'll be segregating the same table into different tables by using copy commands easily. Okay, now we will see one by one. Now you have the data. Now a first requirement could be store the data location wise. For example, I'm just considering only one table. For example, here I'm considering Bangalore. Okay, so those details of sales for only Bangalore I need to store in a Bangalore table, Bangalore sales table. Okay, how can I do that? Here there is no other table, right? You can see here in mean life studies 1 there is no other table, even at least not even a schema, right? So in that situation, first we have two types of two ways that we can store the data. One, first you should ensure that there is a schema, or else you can directly create the schema and at the same time you can insert the data as well. Okay, these are the two use cases that we can use. Okay, for example, there is no schema up to now. Okay, now we will directly store this data. I mean those particular Bangalore location details only we have to store, or else you can consider any location, no problem. Okay, I'm considering here Bangalore. Okay, select star into sales Bangalore. Okay, from which table? Sales one, right? Now you can see I'm going to consider here select star from sales one, where customer location equal to Bangalore. Okay, here I'm just using, okay, I need to close this. Yeah, here this will work as a subqueries, right? So that's why I'm just using a, I mean for inner query I'm just assigning as alias. Okay, if I didn't mention this, you can see we'll get some errors. You can see we are getting error, right? Like this symbol, near this symbol, right? So that you have to use any alias for this one. Okay, it could be anything, anything. Now you can see we'll get it executed, right? I mean two rows got affected, right? This means this data we stored into this table. This is what we created a table and we inserted a data at a time, right? This is one way. Now we'll see what is the data existing in a Bangalore table. Select star from sales underscore Bangalore. Okay, now if I execute this query, you can see these are the two records we stored in this particular table. Now you can see we'll go to mean life studies 1, we'll refresh it, go to tables. You can see we created a table, right? Having all columns, you can see, right? So similarly, you can create any number of tables by using copy commands. Okay, or else you can do many things. For example, here select a star from sales. Okay, I'm just copying, right? Select a star into sales Bangalore 1. Okay, I'm just taking another Chennai. Okay, select star from sales 1. Okay, now you can see if I execute this query, we'll get some errors. See, what is this error? So we cannot use directly because of this will take as different queries, right? So you need to ensure that you are copying into this table from which table you have to mention. Okay, if you are using select star into, okay, from this table, you can see we have to assign with alias, right? So if you are not using any condition, by default we are inserting all data from this table into this table. Okay, so here what I'm doing, where I'm just adding a condition where 1 equal to 2. This means this query will, I mean, I hope you know order of SQL query execution, logical execution process. First it will go to from, and the second step it's go to where class, right? So whenever this condition is true, then only this entire query will execute, right? I mean, as per the condition, right? That means if this condition is not right, I mean failed, so this data won't stored into this one. Only the schema will be stored. Okay. Now you can see 0 rows got affected, right? But we'll see this table is existing or not. Now you can see here. See, we have the schema, right? That means you can store, I mean, you can extract the schema from another tables as well, right? So here also you can select any number of columns, but you need to ensure that the condition has to be failed. This condition true, then this data, entire data and the schema will be copied into this table. If not, only the structure will be copied into this table, right? So you can see this is the schema. Now if I go to database, refresh it, you can see here we have the this table, right? You can see save. Now if I don't want to all columns into any other table, for example, if I consider only customer details like customer location, customer id, customer mail, right? So in order to store only customer details into customers table, I need to consider only those particular columns, right? From this table, select star from sales 1. Okay, now you can see if I execute this query, 10 rows got affected, right? Now if I go to tables and refresh it, now this table customer created with different columns that you can see here, only customer location, customer id, customer mail id. Okay, now if I look at this table, select star from customers, this is the data, right? So even if you want to apply any conditions here, that will be reflected here. Okay, this is how we can extract one more table, that is customers, from our given table. Okay, even if you want, we can do anything. Select star from sales 1. You can see what are the columns here. You can see sale id, order id, item category, quantity ordered, customer id, customer location, customer mail id, and sales amount, right? So even if you want to return a sales amount, sales table 2 with amount is greater than 1000 rupees also, you can store. You can see now select star into sales 2 from select star from sales 1, where sale amount has to be greater than 1000 rupees. Okay, now I'm just aliasing this as a. Okay, you can see if I execute this query, 7 rows got affected, right? That means if I go to this table, if I refresh it, you can see sales 2 table is created, right, with different columns. You can see now we'll see this table, all those amounts would be greater than 1000 only. Okay, now if I look at this table, we have all amounts greater than 1000 only, right? So this is how we can create many tables from the given one table by using copy commands. Here we are using subqueries, right? So one more thing, even if you want, we can do that. For example, here, but you need to ensure that we have already schema existing. Okay, now you can see we have item details also there, right? So first we need to create a schema regarding item details. Okay, let's see here, create table items, item id, integer, item category, varchar, next quantity available, okay, integer. Okay, now you can see here this is the table we are creating, right? Now if we look at this table, select star from items, you can also copy the schema from the existing table also. I already told you where you should keep the condition 1 equal to 2, and you have to select only particular columns, right? So here we have this schema. Now we need to copy our data from sales 1, only those item details into this table. Okay. Now you can see I'm going to use insert into items. Okay. But here what I'm using select only item. We need to see this table first. Select star from sales 1. Okay. Now you can see item ID is there. Okay, item ID. Okay, let's see here. If I use select star from sales 1, now you can see what's going to return. You can see column names. Here we are using, we created another table, right? So that's why we cannot use here star because of unmatched columns are there, right? So if we copy the schema from this table, and then you can easily use this statement. Here we are creating separately, right? So you have to ensure that what are the columns that you want to insert into. Okay, now you can see item ID, comma, item category, and quantity ordered from sales one. Okay, these are the three columns that we are going to insert into this items table. Now you can see if I execute this query, 10 rows got affected, right? Now if I look at this table, this is the data, that is items data, right? So there are different situations that we can use to copy the data into another tables. Okay, I hope you understood all these concepts.